So there are some essential tools that you're going to have for the appliance repair business. Everything that I have in this tool bag, I'm about to turn my camera around and so that way I can show it to you, but everything that's in this tool bag, I can pretty much tear down and repair any appliance out there and make pretty much any repair out there with everything that's in this one tool bag. Every once in a while I have to run back to the van or something to grab like a specialty tool, but that's for like a specialty job. I'd say probably 95% of my repairs I can get them done with everything that's in this one tool bag. So I'm gonna flip my camera around so that way I can show you my tool bag here. Okay, so this is my tool bag. It is a Klein Tools tool bag, and what I like the best about this tool bag, well, you know, for one, I mean, once I open it up, you'll see it like it's amazing how much stuff you can put in it. But you know, outside pouches, outside pockets, you know, a little clip for your tape measure. But what I like the most about it is the fact that you can wear it just like a book bag. So whenever I go to a person's house and I've got my hands full of parts and all that stuff and my tablet, which I bring in, and all this other good stuff, all I have to do is put this thing on just like a book bag. And then if you really wanted to, you can snap this at the very front, and in that way, you know, it doesn't, one of the little arms don't fall off. But for the most part, it is very secure on you whenever you put it on like a book bag, you know, like you were going to school, except now you're going to work. But it's really cool. So this is the one that I recommend. I really recommend it. I think it might be like $100 or something. And I know that probably sounds kind of expensive, but I used to carry around a little square toolbox thing, and you had to kind of put it over one shoulder, and honestly it's kind of a pain in the butt. This right here makes it very nice to be able to tote this thing around, and it just holds so much. I mean, as slim as that thing is, wait till I open it up. It has everything in there that I absolutely would need, like I said, to make about 95% of the repairs that I do. So just starting on the outside, I've got a razor blade. I mean, you never know what you end up needing a razor blade for. Cutting open boxes. I mean, sometimes like maybe a hose will be stuck and you might have to cut it off, even though you don't want to. You don't want to lose any hoses, but there's always going to be a need for a razor blade. This little guy right here, this is a 90-degree drill, like angle kind of thing. So instead of being able to put your drill like where could I use this at? Like if you had a real tight spot, you know, like right here. And the only way that you can get to the screw, because the panel here, the only way you can get to the screw is by putting something like this in there. It's really cool because you couldn't get a drill, couldn't get a nut driver in there, so you have to have something like this right here to get it in there, and that is a very handy tool. Yeah, very nice and handy. This is my field piece meter. So in order to do appliance repair, gotta tell you, you're gonna have to have a meter. Everything that you're going to be doing is testing, you know, so you're going to need a meter. And sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. So this is my meter, and it pretty much does everything that I need it to do in the appliance repair field. Of course, it does amps, did this little guy right here, you know, capacitance, microfarads, non-contact voltage, which I don't even hardly use that. It does temperature for refrigerators and stoves and stuff. That is very handy. You put you a K-type thermocouple right here, and it'll do temperature for you. Like I said, volts AC, volts DC, the amps, the microfarads, the resistance, ohms, all that good stuff. So you need a good meter. That right there has been a very solid, not too expensive meter. So that's the one that I buy for our technicians and myself. On the side here, I just got a tape measure. You do not need a tape measure in appliance repair. The only reason why I have one is because all the time people are saying, can you measure this refrigerator and see how big of a refrigerator I can fit in this spot? So anyway, I just got a tape measure. But I mean, for the most part, you can say, well, look, I don't have a tape measure. Measure it yourself. You know? So in here is just a bunch of different like generic stuff, or not generic stuff, but just a bunch of different things. Okay, so this is like my pouch with different leads in it, needle leads and stuff like that, because you'll get into situations where you got really small wire, so different kind of leads in there. There's some needle leads right there, very, very tiny, you know, as needles, you know, and alligator clamp leads and just different kinds of leads. So that's something that you know, comes very handy. All right, so here is my K-type thermocouple that is currently attached to my electrical tape. Yeah, electrical tape. You will need electrical tape. Get electrical tape. So that's my K-type thermocouple. The one that comes with the meters, how it's all yellow all the way through, just a yellow like plastic wire, does okay in refrigerators, but in ovens it takes a beating. So this guy right here, man, this right here is awesome. K-type thermocoupler. It can go up to like 900 degrees or something. I can't. Maybe it's 600, but anyway, it can withstand the ovens. So I like that one right there. Paid good money for that one, but it's very nice to have. And it's not really essential. Okay, it is not essential, but whenever you get into it heavy and all that good stuff, it'd be very handy to have. So I've got some gloves in here because suspension rods and just different things where you got greasy, it's greasy. I just like to put the gloves on, and then after that, I'll throw the gloves away, put me another one back in the pouch. That right there, this was the holder for my electrical tape, but there is some little tiny wires in there. The reason why I have those little tiny wires is for the orifices on gas ranges. Really nice for, cleaning those out. Okay. Wire nuts. I got a variety of different sizes in the van, but for the most part, that's the smaller ones that we use with appliance repair, so I keep those in there. Oh goodness, it is slipping my mind. Gracious, the tape. Teflon tape. Gracious day. Teflon tape. You'll want that for your water fittings and stuff like that. All right. This is just another bendable or flex, extension. I'm pretty sure you know exactly what it is. Flex extension. Not critical. It's not, you don't absolutely have to have that, okay? But, these are just different things that make the job easier as you go. Zip ties. This is that stuff that covers wiring harnesses to keep them away from heat and stuff. That's not essential. Okay, and there's really nothing else down there other than this, but I got a different one that I use. That is an electrical outlet tester. You just plug that right in. That'll let you know if the outlet is working or if it's not working. Okay, so that's everything in the bottom pouch. In the top pouch, there is just a bunch of different accumulated stuff over the days, and I'm not going to go through everything in here because it's not really important. What is important though is this little guy right here. It's like a 3/32 screwdriver. Why do I need such a skinny screwdriver? Because that is the only thing that will fit in some of those switches for stoves. Whenever you want to regulate the flame, you need that little tiny guy. We even bought this one hoping it would work, but guess what? It does not work. It's just a bit too big. I think it's like an 1/8. So really tiny, skinny flathead screwdriver. And there's just, like I said, different stuff in here that is not even important. Just extra screws. That's that pipe thread sealant for like gas range hookups and stuff like that. Okay, so one thing that I do love is my non-contact voltage meter. So I don't use this as a definite, like I always want to test and see exactly what kind of voltage I'm getting, but at least this right here will let me know if there is voltage present, okay? But don't let this be like your, it said there's voltage there. Well, yeah, this thing will pick up, 40 volts, but you might need 120. This just lets you know voltage is present. Don't rely on this as your main, guy, okay? Again, that's the smaller one that I was telling you about. It's just an electrical outlet tester. It lets you know if they're open ground, open neutral, that kind of stuff. Pretty sure you've seen it. And like I said, just a bunch of different random stuff that really doesn't matter, okay? None of this is essential, all right? Like there's these things that I love. I absolutely love. You might want to get some of these. So what these are like if you're in a refrigerator and you repair like a fan motor or a thermistor, this would be very nice because it's got gel in it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got gel in it. So whenever you press down, you don't even have to splice the wires. Like you push the wires in here, press down the blue cap there with your pliers, it pierces the wire, and then it like puts this gel all over the wire so that way it protects the wire from the moisture. So that is very nice. Oh, another thing that you will need, just keep on you, is 20 amp fuses. Reason why is because microwaves blow them all the time, but keep a lot of them, because guess what? There's a reason why that microwave blew that fuse. So you have to put the fuse in the microwave. That way you can test it and figure out why it blew. So you'll need several of those 20 amp microwave fuses. All right. Again, I'm not going to go through all of this because this is just a bunch of random stuff. Not even really tools, just different things that kind of, you just end up using throughout the job. But you'll figure out those things. Okay, let's open this bad boy up. Alrighty. Zip it on down. Okay. Get out. All right. This is it. This is it. Okay. Starting over here. We got channel locks. You're going to need channel locks. Matter of fact, you might need 2 pair of channel locks. Not only channel locks, but these are kind of like adjustable, pliers. So that way, if you grab something, it adjusts to the size that you grab. Okay. You need you a pair of those. Right here, I don't know. I think my kids got them, I'll be honest with you, but they were just a pair of dikes. So like a pair of side cutters right in here. You want you a pair of side cutters. That way, if you need to cut a wire or if you need to cut like a piece of a poly hose or something, the side cutters are a very good go-to thing. Why do I have a cold chisel? I think that's what they call it. Well, because a lot of times people will install, people will install garbage disposals, and guess what they won't do? They'll forget to knock out the little drain plug for the dishwasher drain. So then I come there, and because they say their dishwasher is broken, well, the dishwasher ain't broken. That's because you didn't knock out the drain plug for the dishwasher. So I put that thing in there, give it a couple taps with a hammer or even the backside of my pliers, and pop that little thing out. Everybody's happy. So that's why I got that in there. That is a garbage disposal wrench. Not necessary, but it helps. That just grabs the garbage disposal and, tightens it right up. Okay. This very expensive but very good pair of crimps. Okay, you can see right there the little jaws. All right, that's your crimp for like your wire splices and stuff like that. So not only does the tips of these things cut the wire and such, but that little piece right there crimps the wire, and it's very handy because a lot of times, let's pull out the next thing. Okay, see the crimp on this one is in the middle, like under the handles. That to me is like a very poor design. So I use these to crimp because I can put the jaw right on it, very easy. And I use these to strip. These are wire strippers. Well, actually, they're wire strippers, crimpers, all this other good stuff. But I just use this only to strip the wire. Very handy. But guess what? Do you need an expensive pair of wire strippers like this right here? No, you don't. You can get those, regular wire strippers that, you just kind of like put the wire in there and you kind of work it and you pull it off. That is all you need. You do not have to buy this like expensive stuff at the very beginning. Just get stuff that works, and that will get you through. And after you start making money, then you can go and you can buy more expensive tools if that's what you desire to do. This little guy right here, more handy than you can believe. This right here is like, I don't even know what you call it. Crow's foot? I do not know. But there's a lot of things that you will need this for, to like a lot of tabs that you'll have to like pry up. Well, it gets on both sides of that thing, and I don't know. This is just very, very handy. I would invest in one of those if you could. Okay, so right here we have 1/4 inch, for your drill. 1/4 inch, Phillips, long Phillips, shorter Phillips, and then 5/16. 1/4 inch and 5/16. If you ask any appliance repair technician, they're going to tell you 1/4 inch and 5/16 is like your main doggone sizes for appliances. Get you a 1/4 inch and a 5/16. Okay, putty knives. No, I ain't putting on spackling. But you know what you do with this? You take like those GE washers that have the little clips, and even like Whirlpool sometimes have the clips. And you're going to need this right here to get in between the panel and pop those clips so that way you can open up the top. So you want a stiff blade putty knife. skinny one if you can get it. I got this other one. This is not a stiff blade. This is a flex blade, and it sucked. It's actually sucked so bad that it's actually it's broken. You probably can't tell, but I don't even use it anymore. I don't even know why I have it in here still. This is my go-to one, stiff one. Okay. All right. So next, I've just got these small flathead, small Phillips. That's handy. Trust me. Inspection mirror, telescoping inspection mirror, which is broken, but that's okay. You know, comes in handy whenever you're like brazing joints, or whenever you just took the panel off of a washing machine and you're leaning over it and you have to do like this right here to find where the holes are at for you to put your screws back in. Very handy. Okay. So inspection mirror. That is the garbage disposal wrench. Whenever it gets seized up, put it in the bottom, torque it back and forth a couple times. Most of the time, that'll free it up. Okay, now this little guy, which I broke the little clasp on it, but this is a very tiny ratchet that takes all of these little 1/4 inch, what do you call them? Like your bits. Sorry, my mind's not working right. And anyway, so this is very handy too. Remember this guy? The little angle, the 90-degree angle. Well, sometimes even at 90-degree angle, the head is too big. So you literally have to put this in there. I'm talking about you can get this thing anywhere because it's so small. So that is very handy. You might want to invest in one of those. All right, so that's this whole side. Now we go to this side. In here is literally nothing but assorted wrenches, and at the very bottom in this pouch is just different sized sockets. Okay, and I would suggest that you just get just a variety because you're gonna need different sizes. So just get you a variety. So right up here, again, 5/16, but this is just a hand nut driver. Okay, 1/4 inch hand nut driver. 6-in-1, very doggone handy. 6-in-1. So what is it? It is your, I think they call that a number 2 Phillips, the bigger size Phillips. And on the other side of this Phillips, if I can get it out one hand, you've got the bigger size. Oh yeah, there it is. Phillip number 2 and a 9/32 flathead. And then guess what? Whenever this is out, that is a 5/16 nut driver right there. Just that hole. All right. So then if you flip this over, which I'm not going to do it because I think you understand it, but that's that side. If you pull that out, on this side of it, you have the number 1 Phillips, the smaller flathead, and then a 1/4 inch. Okay. So 6-in-1 tool, very doggone handy. You can get it at Home Depot. This is just a regular number 1 Phillips head. This is just a regular flathead. And this is a Torx. Good Lord, I can't even remember the size. Maybe a T20 or a T25. I can't remember the size, but it is very common with appliance repair. And so I just keep one of those just so that way I can pull it out really fast. Don't have to grab the drill, don't have to grab bits and stuff like that. Pull it out really fast and take off a panel or whatever. This is a chamois for those jobs where you got to pull the filter or the pump or something like that and you got water on the floor, which actually this chamois has not done very good. So you know what I really use? I just use a doggone microfiber cloth. That works actually better than this. But you just need some type of cloth to soak up, water and stuff, okay? Obviously, this right here is a level because whenever you touch a washer and dryer, it makes people's minds think that something's wrong with it. It's so crazy. But anyway, they're like, is that level, So you can actually show them. Just put it on the top and say, yep, there it is. It's level. And then they're happy. They're fine with it. This right here is an adjustable wrench, which actually, it must be in my van, but I have a bigger one, a much bigger one. So I got a bigger one that goes right here, and then the smaller one. So just adjustable wrench. You want two. You'll want 2 of those. Because, you hold one nut and hold the other and torque it down. And this is a infrared temperature gun. So this is just pretty, I'm sure everyone's seen one. You point at a certain spot that you want to read the temperature, and it'll give you whatever the temperature is. I would say this is not really 100% necessary. It is really nice whenever you go into the refrigerator calls or something and they say it's not really cooling, and you just want to shoot the temperature and say, well, yeah, you're right, it's 50 degrees or whatever. All right, so this is pretty much it. And last, I've just got a rigid drill, compact, I think they call it subcompact, that fits in here perfectly. They actually do, currently, they do not make this subcompact one. The one that we've had to start buying for our other technicians has a fatter battery. The head is about the same, but it's got a bigger battery. But actually, that one, because we buy all the technicians the same tool bag, same tools, we just replicate this. This is why I'm showing you this, so that way you can replicate the same thing. And if you do this, I know that you can get everything done, because this always gets the job done. But anyway, their bigger battery, instead of, I store mine like this. They have to store theirs like this, the battery in the pocket, and then they can put their bit box, whatever you call this little thing, next to it. Everything closes up perfectly. But so a drill in the very beginning is not 100% necessary. You don't absolutely positively have to have a drill. Guess what? Whenever I started 17 years ago, all I had was these babies right here. Honestly, that is it. I had cheap nut drivers, not even Klein tools. I can promise you that. As a matter of fact, my nut drivers did not even have magnets in them. These are magnetic. And I suggest you get magnetic if you can. But if you can't, that is fine. I started off with straight up hand tools. And you know what? Honestly, it's actually paid off in the long run. There are guys in our, there are technicians that their grip, I'm not making fun, but their grip is not that great. Like sometimes they can't get filters out, and I'll come around there and just, bam, get that filter out. And the only reason why is because this is what I started with, man. I had to just use them muscles. But anyway, I say that just to say this, that if you don't have the money right now, don't worry about the drills. You can get everything done with these right here. Now, this tool is helpful. This tool is great. I can speed through taking panels off and all this other good stuff. So this is wonderful. If you can get one, because it'll also break loose things easier too. So, it's very helpful, but if you don't have the money, don't worry about it. And then just, this is nothing but another bit box, just random bits and extensions and such. And what do you know I have? 1/4 inch and 5/16, of course, because that's your main things. And this right here is just a flip one. 1/4 inch, 5/16 on the same little guy, but 1/4 inch, 5/16, your main thing. So this is it. Honestly, what you see here, I can break down and repair just about any appliance with exactly what you see here. Now, I do have specialty tools in the van, which I'm going to show you, but I wanted to show you this is pretty much your necessity to go in there, diagnose an appliance, get it repaired. And this is a good place to start. So I'm gonna try to put a link for all of these tools, so that way you can kind of click on the link, or you can at least know what they are, what brand they are, if you just want to go and just completely replicate this tool bag. And if that would be easier for you, I'll put a link down for everything in this video, so that way you can just make it a lot easier for you. But yeah, these are your essential tools, and I'll see you in the next video.